Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of our weekly podcast, Get Off the Damn Fence. That's right, we're back. We are here at a later hour. We apologize. We've been having all types of technical difficulties, full transparency, but we want to make sure we got you a show this week before the NFL weekend kicks off on tomorrow. Had to get it in, and I'm here with Justin Harris. Uh, Calvin Thomas is around. You might hear his voice. Calvin, say something to the people.
What's going on with y'all?
Yeah, he
I'm
around
here.
here
I'm here.
somewhere.
I'm here.
And Justin being above Harris, my man Justin, speak to the people.
I'm just, I'm just,
Calvin, come back on screen, man. It might work out now. See, you sound like you was on time. You know what I mean? Like, come on back on the screen,
the
Calvin.
audio's powerful,
Yeah,
man.
you sound good, man. Come on back. At least you have a little screensaver on the screen. You know what I mean? It's cool. He can't even hear us. All right. So we got a lot to cover in a not a lot of time. So we're gonna not waste any time. The NFL season is vastly underway, and we had a huge week in the NFL last week. I mean, wow. I mean, it was all types of action. This was probably the biggest lineup of the young season. We got a lot to cover. Let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. They had a big matchup in Cleveland, and now look, you might have looked at that and say, "Oh, it's the Browns. They shouldn't have struggled against the Browns." But again, if you have not been paying attention for the last 3 years, the Cleveland Brown defense has been a top 5 defense in this league, and they are led by the best defensive player in the NFL, hands down. The man who's the reigning defensive player of the year and probably will win it again this year, is Myles Garrett. This man had 4 sacks on Sunday on Lamar Jackson. Now, a lot of that you can attribute to the greatness that is Myles Garrett. He was all over the field. But a lot of that, you got to give it to that sorry-ass offensive line of the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that was an absolute pathetic and putrid showing. And for Lamar to walk out of that game, I mean, he's on the injury report. A lot of that could be contributed to some of them blindside smashes he took on Sunday. He got walked down a few times. You could tell he didn't have his burst. We haven't seen him been able to take off like he typically does. Clearly, he missed practice on Wednesday. Now, I was talking to somebody and I said, look, they got 2 games in a matter of 4 days. They play the Jets on Sunday, and then you come right back on Thanksgiving night and play the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you play Tyler Huntley on Sunday? Give Lamar the rest. But at this point, the Ravens don't have any games where you can just say, oh, we could take a game off. Do you feel confident that Huntley can go out there and beat the Jets? Maybe. But do you want to take that chance? I feel if Lamar is healthy enough to take the field, you run your best players out there. You can't be playing with fate at this point of the season because one loss will get you out of the playoff race. You're fighting for your life right now. But anyway, back to this game. It was an ugly game. It was ugly. There's no other way to put it. It took a fake tush push on 4th down. A phenomenal call, by the way. I tip my hat. The 2 weeks in a row, we've seen some creative wrinkles off of the tush push. Last week, Mark Andrews tosses the ball to Lamar Jackson. He runs for a 1st down. And now this week coming back, Mark Andrews gets under the center like we've seen him do many times. He's the tush push quarterback. And he bootlegs out to the right and takes off for like a 40-yard scamper for a touchdown. A phenomenal call. Nobody saw it coming. Fooled the entire defense. And that's what sealed the game. The defense, once again, was phenomenal. Remember, this is a game that was a punt return. A punt block happened, a muff punt. The Browns got a touchdown off of that. You got an interception. Lamar Jackson threw 2 interceptions in this game, setting up short fields. But the defense bowed their back. I mean, great. Tip your hat. I get it. I'm sure Justin will touch on the Shador of it all. But overall, ugly game on the road. Ravens get the win. I just want to get out of there best healthy as you can. No Bateman, no Marlon Hamilton. They weren't at full strength. Offensive line still trash. Get the win. Let's move on to the next week. Justin, what was your thoughts?
Shout out to Marlon Hamilton. That's a new player that y'all must have picked up. Um, I don't follow Ravens like that, but I'm assuming he's a new guy. Uh, with that
I
being
mixed two guys, Kyle Hamilton and Marlon.
with that being said, the other Hamilton, Kyle had a phenomenal
He
game,
was all
man.
over the place.
When it comes to filling the stat board, he filled every stat that you can fill. And he was all over the place, and he did, the Shador thing or whatever. I didn't like that too much. The rookie was up against the wall, but yeah, your team did what they're supposed to do. They took care of business, especially defensively. Offense, we knew that was going to be somewhat of a struggle. I think people are surprised it was this much of a struggle, but just tying the fact that it's a divisional game on top of everything,
True.
then they can kind of like, okay, that makes sense a little bit. And those that know the Ravens knows that they're due to give up one against Cleveland every year, in a sense, right? But not this year. So, shout out to y'all. So, and I want to talk about that tush push situation. Like I was a little giddy. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the fact that you did a wrinkle last week with Lamar, and then you then you fooled everybody with I don't think no one thought that Mark Andrews was going to take that to the house. And people I hear people saying like, oh, they're showing too much too fast. No, what they're doing is saying you probably might have to go somewhat of like a 4-6 type of a defense, a goal
Yeah.
line type of a defense, which means it's easier to
Tush
get the
push.
first down when
Mhm.
we need to get the first down. You know what I'm saying? So that just softened everybody up
I
in the sense
agree.
that the defense is up. And I think the last wrinkle is going to be Derrick Henry. He has not gotten the ball from there.
Who we
So you
know can
could do
also throw. Yeah.
so this is shout out to Monken, man. This is a beautiful thing to see. Y'all that took over the tush push and added layers and development better than Philadelphia. And they try, they're doing things too, but I like what y'all doing. Um, Cleveland, man, we just gonna go straight to Shador, man. The fact that the so I think he was the center on top of that
Said he
said that
never
he didn't
knew his
even know his
cadence.
cadence. Like you have the whole league. The whole league is talking about this situation, and it's a travesty. Kevin Stefanski, this is a fireable offense. The only problem is the person that could fire you pretty much could be the owner. He didn't want Shador anyway,
Hmm.
so that's going to keep him the job. But when it comes to player sabotage at this level, like this is crazy. The fact that he has gotten 0 snaps with the offensive first team, and he was the backup quarterback. Like your quarterback isn't like anybody in the NFL isn't one play away from
Hmm.
injuring yourself to the point where your backup got to come in. Like we all deal with injuries. Everybody deals with injuries,
Yeah.
and I don't know what they were thinking. They had injuries themselves. So Shador, like I said, he had a couple good throws. He had a couple bad throws, and then the rest of them was just running for his life because the team is putrid offensively.
Yeah.
So I can't give him a full grade. It was good to see him. It was good for him to stand in the pocket and make some things happen. But yeah, and he got smashed. It
Man,
is
he
what
was
it
getting
is.
smashed left and right.
Um, so we'll see what happens next week. It'll be a better grade on him next week. But this week, you was out there, you didn't injure yourself, and you completed some balls, man, balls. So we're just gonna leave it at that for Shador. I wish you the best in the situation, but we all know that your back is up against it, and we're just praying for some kind of success that you could have. So shout out to Shador now.
Let me take a second to talk about this Cleveland Browns team. This is absolutely pathetic. This is actually a fireable. Like the GM should be fired. The coach, everybody should be
Owner
fired.
didn't want him, so that's why he gets a pass.
But the owner didn't want him,
Owner didn't want Shador, and the coach didn't want Shador. The
so
GM,
they should. The GM should be fired. Then that's my
the,
point.
the
If
GM was like,
you,
"Hold up, he's actually talented."
I get that, but here's
So
the
the GM
problem.
did his job.
Here's the problem. Let me break it down.
All right, cook.
You have on your roster a Deshaun Watson, correct?
You do.
You're paying Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco was your opening day starter. You had Kenny Pickett as a backup. You draft, right? The guy who actually started this game was Dylan Gabriel. He was the fourth option. And then you got Shador Sanders. You trade up in the fifth round to get him. So that's one, two, three, four, five quarterbacks that you came out of training camp with. Early in the season, you trade Flacco. You trade Kenny Pickett. I think they might even have traded Pickett first. You know Watson wasn't ready. You know that Pickett, you trade Pickett away. You trade Joe Flacco away. So now you're left with two rookie quarterbacks that's going to be leading your team. Dylan Gabriel can't learn from Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders can't learn from Dylan Gabriel. You can't give him a chance to get reps with the first team because Dylan Gabriel is a rookie who got thrown into the fire himself. He needs all the practice and maturation he can get. Mm-hmm. So you have put yourself in this situation where you got him running scout team at this point where at the beginning of the season, there were four other quarterbacks ahead of him on the depth chart. That is malpractice. So yeah, it does look bad that Shador don't know the first team, but at this point, everybody's fighting for their own life, and you have come far. Joe Flacco was the opening day starter. Kenny Pickett was number 2. This is ridiculous, man. And now you're left with your fifth guy as the only healthy quarterback on your roster. Does that make any sense? What if Shador, the way he was getting hit out there on Sunday, who was coming in after him? Nobody. Nobody. Exactly what I had to get. Golly, man. Again, we wasting a lot of time talking about shitty team, but I feel bad for Myles Garrett putting on these performances. He had a 5-sack game a couple weeks ago, 4-sack game, both of them losses. And it's like, just give me solid quarterback play. Like, give me Mac Jones. Give me one of these backups that's just holding the fort down. You know what I mean? Like, Jameis Winston looked good for the Giants the other day. Like he was available. Like, make a move. You have Flacco in your locker room. Why trade him to somebody in the division? That's just malpractice. The GM should be fired. This should be done. Anyway, let's move on to another team. Before we do, quick question. Lamar Jackson, I asked this question before the news came out today. Lamar mispracticed. It's a very good chance, and I talked to you offline about this. Maybe you sit Lamar this Sunday. Maybe you put Huntley in because you got 2 games in 4 days. You turn right back around on Thanksgiving night, play the Bengals. If Lamar's not 100%, you're going up a Jets team against Tyrod Taylor. Should you the defense is not that great. They traded away Quentin Williams. They traded away Sauce Gardner. They're not really looking like they're going for it in it all. Would you start Lamar on Sunday, Justin?
Yes.
Yeah.
You start them, and hopefully you build a big enough lead where you can sit them. And you don't hesitate. You don't hesitate if it's in the third quarter and y'all up by 3 touchdowns. Just go ahead on and do it. Do it then. The problem is you got Tyrod Taylor. Y'all be better off if Justin Fields was starting. Tyrod's going to try to beat you. He's going to try to beat you. He's going to air it out and he's going to see what happens. But if you get, if y'all do what y'all supposed to do, y'all should be out of there, by midway through the second quarter. So just score. Let Derrick Henry do his thing. This is a Derrick Henry game. Let Derrick Henry go off on this game. And y'all should be, escape with little to no injuries.
And Derrick Henry has been bottled up because this offensive line just simply has just been getting beat at the snap every time. It's really something that should be studied. How pathetic and putrid this offensive line has been this year. The drop off from this year to last year is really just drastic. Something I haven't seen from this Ravens team in a long time. We're traditionally one of the best running teams in the league. Again, Ravens get another win. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to Buffalo and were defeated by the Bills on Sunday. And honestly, that was probably one of the best offensive performances by a quarterback I've seen in a very long time.
I know Baker tried.
Josh Allen, y'all ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, it is what it is, man. Your defense had no answer for this guy. He is a specimen. Like, at the end of the day, to be able to run with the power and the precision that he is at quarterback, The man he's a huge athletic fella, man, and he can give he can give as good as he can take in many ways with the ball in his hand. He can throw. He doesn't have great receivers. We all know that Keon Coleman got benched on Sunday. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna take this game into my own hands, and I'm gonna go get this win." After that bad loss last week and how putrid he looked against the Miami Dolphins, he said, "I'm coming out and I'm going to show the world why I'm the MVP." And he helped put on a hell of a performance. What was your thoughts on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the effort they put up on Sunday?
Um, I'm gonna go ahead on and summarize this in two things since we're running low on time. Um, we gave up about 40 yards average for a kickoff. I told you all season that
Mm.
special teams has been biting our ass all year, and it's just different aspects. It's either block punts, block field goals, and now we had a situation where we're giving up 40 yards a kick. Do you know what that means? If you catch the ball on a 20 and you get, let's say they spot you 40,
Yeah.
you are now on the other side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so that's one. That's one. So he had short yardage down in the whole game. Uh, to his credit, he had a couple 80-yard joints too. But with that being said, the second thing is we give up big plays like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So you can't have you can't give up 40 yards a kick and then have big plays. You damn it, you scoring. And that's
Yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah.
So we got to go through it. We got to buckle down. We got to get some players healthy again. We got to get some players on offensive healthy so we can withstand drives just a little bit longer. You know how I am about that. That's one of my pet peeves, man. Just
Ball
run the
control.
clock. Whole ball control is essential. So hopefully, Sean Tucker did his thing. So those that picked up Sean Tucker and all those things for that particular game, you made out. Bucky Irvin should be back. But we need Chris Godwin back. We need Mike Evans back, and that way,
Mm-hmm.
Emeka can start to be who he was. Him
Yeah.
playing the X by himself, being the number
Yeah.
one receiver, um,
It's
it's
not that.
tough. It's
Mm-hmm.
tough for him. He's still a rookie, and
Mm-hmm.
we're starting two rookies at the wide out, and we're still scoring. So shout out to Ted Johnson as well. So, um, you can't give up 40 yards and you can't give up big plays galore. We had like 7 to 10 big plays that we gave up on defense. And that's the ball game, guys. So we do those things. Josh Allen doesn't score 6 times. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially in the end, like he just, man, he was racking them up towards the end of that game. Alert after alert, touchdown again. I'm like, God damn, how they get the ball back that quick? But again, y'all put up 32. It's not like y'all weren't able to put points on the board. Your
No, we were
defense,
there in the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's just Josh just kept pause. He just kept coming. So
he kept coming.
um that's just what it is.
Yeah. Let's go to Atlanta, same division. Atlanta and the Panthers. Man, this Panthers team is breathing down y'all neck. They had a bad loss last week, but if they wouldn't have lost that game last week, this would get even more interesting. But y'all got a little bit of a cushion. But the Panthers played well. They got a win. Unfortunately, Michael Penix Jr. for the Falcons did get hurt. Looked like he's out for the year. I believe it's ACL, so he'll
Mhm.
be out. But what a phenomenal game, probably probably the best game of the career of Bryce Young. Bryce Young was sensational on Sunday. And we've been seeing this run game of the Panthers come on strong here lately, but on Sunday they were able to go through the air. And Bryce Young actually looked like what everything the pundit said he would be coming out of college. What was your thoughts on this and this NFC South matchup?
This is definitely talk of the division. One team is fading away, and the other team is could be emerging from this. Atlanta's done this year, guys. It's sad to say. Well, it depends on who you talk to when it comes to that. But Michael Penix, when you look at his injury history, my God, I mean, it's like 5 of the last 6 to 7 seasons he's not been
Yep.
able to finish the season. Multiple ACL injuries and the like. So, um, it's good they got a multi-million-dollar backup in which came in and did absolutely nothing. That's your boy. With that being
They
said,
put up 27.
understood. Carolina did good, man. This is the Carolina that people wanted to see. The running game wasn't as potent as it was in games past,
Mhm.
but Bryce Young said, "Look, man, I might have had a bad week last week, but holler at me this week." They had one of his best performances, threw the ball to Xavier Leggett. T Mac got a couple touchdowns. Like this is their offense, and those that knows, like, hopefully he doesn't continue this. Hopefully the issue is Bryce Young. Hopefully he just had an anomaly on a positive side, which means he comes back down to the to the old Bryce Young. And it seemed like he was afraid. That's what it was. That's what people are saying. He was afraid to throw the ball like that. And I don't know who talked to him. I don't know what got in his head. I have no clue. But he said, he went what they used to say, balls to the wall.
There
He
you
went
go.
balls to the wall and threw that joint. And this is the result of it. So we'll see if it continues or not. But yeah, he definitely said F it and aired it out. Good job.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on this division, man? We'll talk about that a little bit when we get into these
Yeah, we
rankings,
got
but
next week. Yeah, we got.
it's closing up.
The previews.
It's closing up. Next up, the Chicago Bears, man. Big win on the road in Minnesota. They now are leading the NFC North. Caleb Williams with another comeback in the fourth quarter, walks it off. Of course, they walk it off with a field goal. That's what they tend to do like every week here. I mean, this team here, man, they force turnovers. That's what they do. I believe they lead the league in turnovers forced. Their running
Three
game.
of
With,
the top three interception leaders are from Chicago.
Look at that. Look at that. And then you got the DeAndre Swift factor. Man, look, people forget how young he is. He just came into the league, and it was a shock when Detroit let him leave because he actually played well in Detroit, but they felt like they got that upgrade, and nobody can deny that with the running backs they have there now. But he's playing well in Chicago. It's a good fit with a young, strong star in this league, and Caleb Williams. And a lot of people were starting to write off after you saw Jaden Daniels shoot up to the moon last year, and that comparison, that natural comparison was there. But Caleb is finding ways to win games. He ain't putting up these eye-popping stats every week, but Ben Johnson is doing an excellent job putting a game plan together to bring out the best of this team. And look, they got two good tight ends. Colston Loveland, that boy, made some big plays so far this season. We know about Duzier, who's played solid. Like, they make big catches and timely catches on game-winning drives. And I think that's what matters, man. And this Minnesota team just finds ways to lose, man. J.J. McCarthy cannot connect with Justin Jefferson to save his life. It's actually kind of shocking. And you got to give Sam Darnold even more credit for the connection he was able to develop with him. And that could just be off of experience. It's only JJ's fifth start all time. Fifth start. So, again, if we're going to treat him, give him a little bit of grace. But I'm telling you, that clock is ticking. You gave up Kirk Cousins. You gave up Sam Darnold, who both played well in these offenses, for this guy. He has to. This is a win-now team. And for them to be losing like this, I don't know how much you can last if you Kevin O'Connell there in Minnesota if this continues to happen. What's your thoughts?
What you're starting to see is the frustration. Justin Jefferson is visibly frustrated now. So it's only going to be a certain amount of time before it's spills over to the media, or some people are cut from the same cloth. I'm not saying that he's going to spit on somebody's face, but when these brothers get frustrated, they're going to start to show certain ways. AJ Brown is frustrated. He's letting people know. Jamal Chase is frustrated. He's letting people know. Justin Jefferson has been doing very well keeping his cool together up until a certain point. And you're starting to see once people say that, the internet do what the internet do, and you're starting to see certain highlights, or what I would say lowlights. Even when it's close to him, he's not necessarily extending himself, maybe putting himself in harm's way to get said targets, because he just said it's not worth it. And so now you're going to have that maybe forming against him at the same
alligator
time
arms.
So they got to do something. They don't have a bad team. The team is good. At least it's okay. It's just the fact that I don't think they believe in JJ. And like you said, they gave away Sam Darnold, the person that just took them to the playoffs. They was a team last year that no one saw coming, and then you just up and change and reroute your system based off the rookie that you get. So this is sometimes what you got to deal with, and they're going to implode, and it's going to be even worse. But with that being said, while they're imploding, Chicago's finding ways to win, and they're on top of the division, which no one had predicted whatsoever. So shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Caleb Williams finding ways to win games, even if it's not all on him. I think he was just a byproduct of everybody else this particular game, but he found a way to win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So shout out to Chicago.
Yeah, good win, good win. We'll see, because again, Minnesota has everything you want: running backs, they got tight end, they got receivers. It's the quarterback, man. He has to play better. Next up, Los Angeles Rams defeated the Seattle Seahawks 21-19. This game is probably one of those games that people will make sweeping generalizations about. But all in all, to be completely honest, you throw 4 interceptions in a ball game and you lose by 2.
Should have been
You
this close.
you throw 4 interceptions in a ball game and lose by 2. Like, the Rams, good. I mean, you got the win. Congratulations. But like that Seattle defense, y'all, you held this team to 3 touchdowns, and a lot of that was in the first half. If you watch this game, like,
Mm-hmm.
like that, this is these two teams will see each other again. Mark my words. Sam had a bad game, no doubt about it, and I know the rep on him. Calvin, you get a little background audio from you, but you could work on that. Mute yourself. But if you're gonna judge Sam off of just against the Rams, because the last 2 games against the Rams, he's been horrible. We've seen that. But sometimes a team has your number, and the Rams defense is no joke. But this Seattle defense is coming. Just watch out. Pause that. They're coming. Pause. And they will be a force to reckon with. I was actually impressed more than disappointed. Because Sam, turnovers happen. I get it. What's your thoughts, Justin?
I had to mute myself because of the Baltimore City Police Department. Um, but with that being said, when you're able to hold, people like Puka to 70 plus 70 yards or so, you did your job. The Seattle defense did their job. Matthew Stafford was actually making this MVP case, in my opinion. Um, I don't see that anymore. That's how bad he looked in this particular game. That's how great Seattle had put them in their particular place. So I'm not. You look at this game. I don't know how they feel. It's one of those. It's one of those weird feelings where it's though you know that you played good enough to win, but you didn't, in a sense, right? The Rams got 14 early points, and they didn't score again until the fourth quarter. You just instead of some of those field goals you want to score, you can't win you can't win most games by field goals, and that's what the Seattle ended up doing was just kicking too many field goals. So you got to score a little bit more. And I think Sam is just don't even look at this game, Sam. Just toss this game,
You
put it
got
in the
to.
trash. Don't worry about it. You're better than this. Look at the game before. The game before you had 4-1. You threw 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. Go right back to that game and don't worry about this game. You're a better quarterback. We think so. Let's just go with that. But no, it's all about the defensive special teams of Seattle. They played extremely well, good enough to win this game, and unfortunately, the offense let them down on this one.
And shout out to the Rams defense. They forced 4 interceptions. You did your job. They played phenomenal. Again, they at the end of that game, Seattle was driving to get in the field goal range. Had they had a little bit more time, like I think you kicked a 60-yarder to walk it off in a dome. I mean, people hitting those these days. You know what I mean? Had he
That's a
got
fact.
them 50, had he got them 5 yards closer, this is a win for the Seattle Seahawks on the road. But it didn't happen. Shout out to the Rams. A win is a win. The same thing I talked about earlier with the Browns and the Ravens, division opponent. Sometimes you're going up against a tough defense on the road. You just want to get out of there with a victory. I mean, they were at home, but the Rams really don't have a home field advantage out there in LA. Everybody travels well there. But good win for them. Calvin, your thoughts on this matchup?
Look, I think we're not giving the Rams defense enough credit. I think they deserve credit even more so than Seattle. I also think that you know we this is starting to become who Sam Darnold is.
I
When
knew
it's
you
a
was going to
key
do it.
divisional matchup,
I
can
knew
we
you was
just
going to do
start to say this who he is?
it.
Like
How can you say that when it's
we've
only
seen it.
happened twice?
It's only happened 3 times. It happened in the playoffs against the Rams as well.
I just said against the Rams.
And
If
it
you
happened
want to,
against Detroit. It happened against Detroit last
the
year as well.
Detroit
Last win of the
game.
season. This is
I
3 times. So at what point is this going to be just who he is? No knock against Sam Darnold. He's a good quarterback. He just hasn't gotten over that peak yet. And that's all I'm saying.
It's week 12.
I think
week
the Rams
12.
I think the Rams are the best team in that division, and they proved it on Sunday. Now you want to say that they had a chance to win it late? That was based off their defense. That wasn't based off Sam Darnold, who, like you said, threw 4 interceptions. So I'm giving credit to the Rams defense. I'm giving credit to Calvin Williams. I'm giving credit to Seattle defense for keeping them in the game. So I'm giving that's who I give the credit to.
This is
Sam
my
Darnold
problem with
has
you.
to
This
get
is my
over the
problem.
hump and win these games.
The man is week 12 and he had his first bad game of the season. Week 12?
Okay.
And you
Okay.
act like the man just suck every week or something like that.
So,
Like, what are we talking?
in that perspective, he's had 3 bad games in the last 14. You look at it like that. And every game has been crucial. Every game has been for
What's
something.
crucial about it? What's it for? This is a
This
regular
is for
season game in week 12.
This is their first matchup for the leading NFC West. This is what we're talking about. This team now they're tied with them for the division they're a game and a half up. I'm sorry for the division record because they both lost 1 division game. See, this game was important to Seattle. They want to take a stranglehold on this NFC West. They want home field advantage in the first round. That's all I'm saying.
They'll see each other again.
And we know
they still got to come to
how
Seattle.
Seattle's home field is. So it's dangerous to go up there to that upper west. So you don't want to go there.
So you don't think that it was just a bad like if you look at the interceptions?
How can we keep saying he's a bad game in my opinion is you throw for 200 yards, the offense isn't really going. You threw for 4 interceptions. At what point can we say that's just a terrible game? It is a terrible game. It wasn't bad. It was beyond bad. If he throws for 2, they might win it. He threw for 4 interceptions.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying you're using this as an indictment of his entire.
Because we've seen this before from him. That's all I'm saying. We saw it last year, Minnesota at Detroit last game of the season. You're both 14-2. The winner has number 1 seed. The loser is going to the wild card game and goes to LA. We saw it the next week against LA. So we've seen this before. So why can't we say that?
We froze.
No, I'm not frozen. I thought Justin was waiting for I was waiting for Justin jumping in. No, I just think you have a hate for Sam Darnold that goes deeper than regular, and I just don't get it.
I don't.
But it is what it is. It's unhealthy analysis. Next up, the Denver Broncos defeated Patrick Mahomes.
Didn't somebody pick this? I think I picked this.
I picked it too. That wasn't a shot. Just the only person that picked the Chiefs. So tell us about the game. What was your thoughts on this one, Calvin?
Look, this was for as many injuries as Denver had, no JK, no Patrick Surtain. The defense really stepped up and just held his Kansas City defense in check. And Bo Nix really led this offense. Minimal turnovers. They were able to run the ball even with RJ Harvey. Look, this offense is so up and down, but it seems like they come through in the fourth quarter when they need to score points. They've done it recently. And at what point are we going to start worrying about Kansas City? They 5-5 and not in the playoffs. This is their third loss in division. I'm sorry, second loss in division. They lost to the Chargers early in the season. This is a good game for Denver to win. This is how you take a stranglehold on that division. The offense is still up and down, but they were good enough to beat Kansas City, all being in Denver. So props to Denver.
So do you have lack of faith in Patrick Mahomes now? He threw 2 interceptions.
Patrick Mahomes is a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
I'm just asking.
This is a difference. There are levels.
He's been losing a lot of these games here lately.
It's levels to this.
Over.
I mean, you picked against him as well, so.
Oh, I knew they was going to lose. I mean, look, here's the thing, and I explained this very well last week when I picked Denver. I said Denver does exactly what the Chiefs don't do well. They don't do well. They don't run the ball. The Chiefs cannot run the football. I don't know what it is. Kareem Hunt has never been a every down back. Pacheco is gone, right? He's injured. Like, who's your bell cow? Who's your guy? So you always
Patrick
going to
Mahomes.
rely on Patrick Mahomes to make decisions. Mahomes made some of the most boneheaded decisions with the football that I've seen in a long time. And Andy Reid said something very important in his press conference. He said, I call RPOs. All right. That means Pat has the opportunity to check to a run, but they are called runs. He checks out of them and goes to the pass, depending on what he sees. Now, I think that's important. And I think Jeff Saturday did a great job on Get Up, breaking that down as well. When he talked about when he played with Peyton Manning, Tom Moore would call in the play, and Peyton had full carte blanche at the line description side. We all watched him for years due to audibles and the Omahas and all that kind of stuff. And he would decide, depending on what the defense showed him, what play they were going to go to. And 9 times out of 10, Peyton would check to a run. And that's why you got your Edgerrin James. That's why you got your running backs who got some big-time yardage because the players were expecting the pass and Peyton would check to a run. Unfortunately, because you don't have a running back who can do that on the Chiefs roster, they don't check to the run. So Pat Mahomes is typically checking out of a run to another pass. So he tries to look at those quick 4-yard passes to Xavier Worthy or as basically just a pass but a run. You're looking to get 3 to 5 yards. So any good run is 3 to 5 yards. So you think you do a little check down, that's just the same thing. But it's not. When you don't run the ball, you're not physical. You're not giving the defense nothing to worry about. That's why a good defense like Denver will destroy you and wear you down. And the fact that this was a tie game going down to the end is only a credit to the Chiefs. But at the end, Denver's just better. Justin, your thoughts?
No, when it came in this particular situation, this is why you go out and you swing for the fences. And I say that to say they should have got Brees Hall. He was he was within their warehouse to get him. Of course the Jets going to drive up the price a little bit, but if you're thinking that you're struggling in one thing and that one thing can probably change everything for you, then you go ahead on and do that move. They had Brees Hall. Brees Hall is a faster, more effective runner than whoever they had back there, and it's starting to weigh his ugly head. But that's not the reason they lost. They lost because of one person and one person only, and that is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, he only had one interception, but that one interception was when they were driving
in the red zone.
In the red zone,
Oh,
yes. You cannot have that play. Patrick just throw it out of bounds. Patrick just run it out of bounds. Patrick just slot. Do anything else other than turn the ball over in that situation because this defense is not playing around with you. They are not one of those types of defenders. You could just have multiple chances. No, the only chance you got to make sure that you punching in or at least get some kind of points. You can't turn the ball over. And sometimes you thinking, well, that was early, so maybe they had the rest. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I think that's what happened. The offense of Denver's was pedestrian at best.
It was pedestrian.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't
like
that they didn't do too much. So the Kansas City Chiefs defense played they played well. It's just when it comes to this divisional game, when it comes to this defense, when it comes to Kansas City being who they are, and everyone else trying to make sure that y'all stay where y'all at the bottom right now. You just can't make simple mistakes, and that's what they did. Travis Kelce played out. He balled out. They got to get Xavier Worthy a little bit more involved. I'm surprised they're not doing that. But no, this is Patrick Mahomes in my opinion, and he can't make the mistakes that he's been making, unfortunately, the entire season.
Yeah. Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Detroit Lions in a matchup of two of the best teams in the NFC by a score of 16-9. This was an ugly slugfest type game where the defense is really with the stars of the teams. I mean, that Philadelphia defense you have to tip your cap. I know we've been talking about defenses a lot so far, but that's what type of weekend it was in many ways. Outside that Josh Allen explosion, like defensively, like the big games came down to whose defense played the best. And you got to give Philly credit. They held Jahmyr Gibbs. They held David Montgomery, Amar St. Brown. They shut down everything and look, we were talking a couple weeks about MVP candidates. At one point, the quarterback for Detroit was right there in numbers wise. He looked like trash on Sunday, and that largely was due to what the Philadelphia Eagles was able to do with that pass rush. The addition of Phillips from Miami really has been big for them as well. And look, at the end of the day, we can talk about targets for the offense and are they getting the ball enough to the wide receiver AJ Brown? They forced the ball to him a lot, and I think it made the offense look like predictable and made them look just not no flow to it. Didn't get Devontae Smith the ball because you were trying to make a concerted effort to keep AJ Brown happy, and I think that's how you lose football games. They need to just worry about let Jalen Hurts make decisions. Whoever's open, that's who gets the ball. Do not. That's what bothers me. I'm not going to belabor this point. We talk about it every week at this point. But New England, they won for years with whoever catches the ball, they're going to catch the ball. Kansas City, same thing for many years. Yeah, you had a Tyreek, but at the Tyreek left, that offense was probably more prolific than ever because Patrick Mahomes just throw it to whoever was open. And whoever got open got the ball. Now, Hollywood might get it sometimes. Xavier Worthy might get it. Some Rashee Rice, he does make a conservative effort to get it Rashee Rice. But I'm just saying, when you got more free-flowing offenses like that, it doesn't allow the defense to key in on anything. But I just felt like they just were trying to force the ball to A.J. Brown, and it made the game plan very easy for the Detroit Lions on Sunday. But they got to win. Good, a solid win. Wasn't great, but a win is a win against a great opponent in Detroit. Justin, what was your thoughts?
Once again, we got these quarterbacks, man. And when the rubber meets the road, they're finding the closest exit to get up off that joint. And this is Jared Goff. Once again, I say when the game is on Jared Goff, we'll see what happens. Chances are it's going to be in your favor. Philadelphia did a great job with Jalen Carter and the new people they picked up, shutting down the run. They did. They Gibbs was bottled up. Montgomery was. They did what they're supposed to do when it comes to that. And they said, "All right, Jared, it's on you. What you going to do?" And Jared Goff got him 9 points. That's what happened.
Trash.
And you wish it was different, but at the end of the day, this is a Jared Goff, and this is what Jared Goff does. He's going to do it again if they make it to the playoffs, which they should. He's going to do the same exact thing. He's a front runner, and when Gibbs aren't doing what they're supposed to do, when the running game ain't doing what they're supposed to do, I mean, how many times did they try for it on fourth down?
Oh, that was pathetic.
Every
You know,
time.
it was like 0 for 5 or whatever the case may be. So it's not like he had extra chances to make more plays, and he didn't. It's just it is what it is. So you can call whoever you want to call. You can say this person did it. To me, my arrow goes to Jared Goff, and he just simply has to play better.
Dan Campbell got to eat some of this too.
That's what I was waiting for someone to say. When are we going to blame Dan Campbell, who is
You
the
gotta
second
eat
game
it.
calling the offense? But Jared Goff played terrible. But to only give the ball to Jameer Gibbs 12 times, and to only have, and he had no, I don't think he had any. He had no 5 receptions because he had 100 yards receiving. But to only give the ball to him 12 times a rushing game, that goes an offensive coordinator. Or in this case, Dan Campbell was calling plays, in my opinion, because you had Jared Goff out here throwing the ball 40 times. They never had any type of balance on offense. They were one dimensional. They never played the field game. Every time they went for on fourth down, I don't even know what they were in regards to fourth down. But Dan Campbell deserves some playing as well. We gave him all this credit last week against Washington when he's calling these plays late in the game. But now this week, when they only put up 9 points against a team that they're going to have to compete with to get to the Super Bowl, we don't talk about that. This game is on Dan Campbell. If you want to say it was the game plan or if it was his calling the game, he deserves some blame as well, in my opinion, because of the game plan, because of how many times he had Jared Goff dropping back without establishing a run game, without even trying to run the ball. He deserves some of the blame as well. I agree with everything y'all said, but Dan Campbell deserves blame as well.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. And the fourth downs is really the big problem. Yeah, that was bad.
You put your defense and your defense played well. You put them in the bad spot.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Those fourth downs.
Like I said, I wanted to give more credit to Philly because they the ones who stopped them on fourth down all that many times. So we've seen him take those same risks. It's not like he did anything new. That's what he does every week. He goes for it. I mean, so that's who he is. I'm not asking him to change who he is because 9 times out of 10, it works out for him. I give Philly credit for stopping him when he tried to be himself. So shout out to them. They put no wrinkles on their fourth down plays. They look pretty pretty predictable, to be honest with you. Next up, so we did go through all of, but we didn't talk about the Cowboys game because we was waiting for Calvin to come back. So the Cowboys got a big victory on Monday night against the lowly Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got your pom poms out and ready to declare y'all going to the playoffs. What's your thoughts?
No, I mean it was a good win. It was a team, a Las Vegas team that hasn't played well on defense all year, and it was a Cowboys team that had some motivation with the passing of their teammate as well, and they wanted to play well for him in addition to that, and he played well on offense, and they could not stop George Pickens. It was his show on Monday night.
Man.
You thought it was going to be CD, and he caught like a 37-yard pass over the middle and still took it for a touchdown. They couldn't stop George Pickens. That was his coming out party. That was his showing what he can do. If he's featured as number one receiver, and they just basically went up and down the field. And even when Vegas tried to establish some offense, Ashton Genty was really. But I don't know. He really just couldn't get any momentum going at the line. Even at that goal line stand, he got to the goal line and kind of stopped his momentum, and that caused the safety. So it was just a perfect storm. It was a great offensive performance by Dallas, and just nothing on defense from Vegas. So perfect storm in that matchup.
Justin, real quick, you think that Dallas defense is now revamped enough that they can be respectable and go on a run?
Going on a run is the Cowboy way, just to get the hopes up high, and hopefully they fail. But I'm more interested in does anybody know why they didn't start? Why didn't George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb start?
They missed curfew the night before.
Out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, coach. And they went out there and performed. Hey, shout out.
Right.
A few notes before we move on. I'm just going to touch on a few notes from a couple games. Jalen Ramsey and Jamar Chase, man. That thing got ugly. Jamar Chase spits in Jalen Ramsey's face. Jalen wows off on him, as he should. A man spit on you. You lucky that's all you got. I just go. You lucky he ain't see you in the parking lot after the game.
The game was still close at that point.
Yes, and now Jamar Chase is going to be suspended this coming weekend in their big game.
Did his appeal? You know how his appeal went?
They denied it already. Okay. Denied his appeal. He will be missing. We was hoping it got delayed another week, but it's not. So he will only miss Sunday's game against the Patriots. Justin, man, spit on you. What you doing?
I tell you what, it wouldn't be what he just like punch shoved him.
Nah, yeah, he punched him a couple times in the helmet. In the helmet. That helmet coming off.
Yeah, you gotta take the helmet off.
I'm gonna have to do a Myles Garrett. And pretend you one of Pittsburgh quarterbacks.
Damn,
I got you wanted to pause. You wanted to feel that some kind of way. You wanted to go home with something bloodied up because you want to feel that. So that may be a body slam or two. It got to be something, but no, I totally understand.
Some flesh, buddy.
You gotta.
Yeah, dog. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. Mike Tomlin was on that same vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta take it further than that.
That's trash.
Yeah.
You gotta go Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan. I'm over you swinging.
And what the league gonna do? I mean, the man spit on me, bro. All bets off after that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You think Burrow playing this week though? You see practicing full today?
I think he'll be there ready for Thanksgiving Thursday night. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, 2 games in 5 days. You're right.
The Jaguars got a big victory over the Chargers. Chargers look very, very bad. Calvin,
in Jacksonville, I hate when West Coast teams go east and play at 1 o'clock. Jacksonville,
and we all picked the Chargers. Every last one.
And then and they're benching Brian Thomas going forward. Like, is he done now?
I think it must be a discipline thing. Yeah, maybe you don't want to play.
Pick up the phone.
And they a playoff team. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Mac Jones is out, but Brock Purdy's back in, looking good. Yeah. Justin, thoughts, Purdy?
He did what he's supposed to do. He gave the ball to his playmakers. Look, man, he got Matt Jones right behind him. Paul, it's like he has got to play well, and he now knows that he's expendable because they didn't necessarily lose too much while you was gone. So all the stuff he was hearing about, you're just the guy, you're this, you're that, you're some of your team and all that, that came right back because Matt Jones came in and performed very well with that team. So, and I'm not going to get too high. It was against Arizona on top of it. So that was a good comeback game to come back to. We see what he does against higher competition, but he played well in his first game back.
And finally, Calvin, your Packers, man. I don't know. Took a lot to beat the Giants. Jameis Winston looked like he went back in a time machine, and then we saw the turnover Jameis at the end.
That's the
Yeah.
time machine.
Was that a good?
Yeah.
Was that a good sign or what for the Packers to get that win?
A win is a win, but the game shouldn't have been that close. You really were going back and forth with James and required a heroic performance from Jordan Love against a lowly team. If this team had their starting quarterback and maybe their starting running back or their new starting running back, maybe this game would have went the opposite direction. You gotta be worried if you're Green Bay. This is 3 lackluster performances in a row, I believe. So you gotta be worried if you're Green Bay. Ever since that Pittsburgh game on Sunday night, they haven't been playing well. You gotta be worried.
Yeah, definitely 100%. All right, let's take a quick look at these divisions. I know we're getting late in the night, but I do want to cover this really quick. Right now, the interesting one for me, if I had to say, you got Kansas City sitting at 5-5. The Chargers losing last week actually was a big help to them. So they only might be a game back because they haven't seen their bye yet, so they can catch them there. Denver, I think, set themselves apart. I think the division might be a little bit out of range. What's your thoughts on that, Calvin?
If you're Kansas City, you gotta be worried about making the playoffs, in my opinion, at this point, because New England, that AFC East gonna get 2 teams, and you can't be the 3rd team in that AFC West. You've already lost to Denver and the Chargers, and you play both of them again. Kansas City has to be worried.
And you lost to Jacksonville because they might even still be a wild card.
And the problem is, like, Jacksonville and Baltimore, especially Baltimore, they beat Baltimore. But Baltimore, if they win the division and
don't matter.
Pittsburgh lose to Kansas City, you lose those tiebreakers against teams that don't matter or have a division lead. So Kansas City's in trouble. They got to go on the run. They have to beat like Baltimore, and every game is a playoff game going forward at this point.
Yeah. Another team I wanted to look at was this Carolina Panthers. So, Justin, you get 6-4, 6-5, neck and neck. That loss last week looks really bad now because they literally could be sitting ahead of the South, and Tampa Bay got the Rams this week. So, y'all lose that Rams game, Carolina wins. This gets interesting down the stretch. Your thoughts?
I'm not necessarily worried about it because some of the teams that we lost to, they're going to have to see as well. And we played them twice. That's going to be the division right there.
You know what
I'm saying? Who wins out those 2 games? But their schedule gets a little tougher. So and after the Rams, we'll see what happens with us. But I'm not necessarily too happy this upcoming week. But after that, we should be fine.
Okay, 49ers are getting healthy, 7-4. They sitting right there. All teams separated by 1 game. Calvin, in the end, who do you have the most confidence in the NFC West?
In the Rams. I think Seattle still has to play San Fran. They play them twice, I believe. I don't know if they played them yet. But the Rams are already split. They have a chance to go 5-1 in the division. I got the most faith in the Rams. I think they're the best team in the division. I think they have the best quarterback, best roster, and best roster and best offense. But I got the most faith in the Rams.
All right, and then NFC North. Look, I get it. Detroit looked bad last week. I still think they have the most talent. I think they're the best overall team. They just need to put it together. The Bears 7-3 looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
on paper,
that's surprising.
It looks good. But some of those wins they got will come back. That Bengals game, some of these things is like a little fluky against low-level teams. I need to see them do it against the big boys.
They lost to Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, they did. But I still don't believe yet, and I never believed in the Packers. So Detroit looks like the team for me. We'll continue to monitor that. And we'll keep a closer eye on this going into next week. We know that these seeds are fluctuating, so there's no need to dig deep. We got a lot to get into before we get out of here. Last week, me and Calvin both had 6 wins. Justin had 2. Hey, man, things happen. You went out on a limb trying to get back in the game. You know what I mean? And nobody's holding it against you. Nobody's holding it against you. We want you we still want you to have that type of
comes up.
We still want you to go out there and pick with your heart. You know, sometimes your head will lie to you. You know what I mean? Pick with your heart. It's all right.
I don't need no goddamn prep talk, man. Let's go.
Yeah. So we right now, Calvin at 39, I'm at 40. And
Man, you ain't in the 30s yet? I ain't gonna say it like that.
Here you go. This is the week you catch up. Let's get into this lineup. Bills, Texans in Houston. I thought maybe CJ might be coming, but he's not. So,
Nope.
But Davis Mills, the last game he played very well. Buffalo got a big win last week against the Bucks. Justin, who you got?
Buffalo.
Calvin.
Buffalo does not play well on the road, but I have no
Against a
faith in
good
this Houston
defense.
offense. I have no faith in this Houston offense, though. It'll be a little scoring, but I got Buffalo.
You know, I'm very tempted. That Houston defense is good. Coming off of a bye, they make some big time plays, and they do what Buffalo does not do well. They stop the. Nah, I'm going to the Bills. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers had a wrist issue, game time decision type of talk they talking about. Going into Chicago, we know that Aaron Rodgers has a history against the Chicago Bears where he's remember he told him, I still own you and all that other stuff. Bears at home should be favored if they going up against, was it Duck Hodges or one of those other guys, Mason Rudolph, one of those guys, you know what I mean? Who knows? Might even be a little bit. Nah, I can't say that. Calvin, who you got?
Bears exercise some demons against Aaron Rodgers, even if he does play. I got the Bears.
Justin, who you got?
I'm going with the Steelers, man.
I knew you
Bears
you can't help it. I'm going with the Bears, man. I just think not knowing who's playing quarterback, Steelers defense hasn't been bad. They actually been pretty good here lately. I don't know what's gotten into them, but I just think the Bears have something magical going on. So good for them. Next up, Minnesota Vikings travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers. I have no faith in this Packers team. I just saw Minnesota go into Detroit 2 weeks ago and get a big win, and their defense plays stout. I don't know the injury status of the running back for Green Bay. What's his name, Lord?
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. So I'm going with the Vikings on the road with the upset. I think they need this win. I think J.J. McCarthy will redeem himself. I'm going with the Vikes. Justin?
We just talked about all that about the inept quarterback play, the frustrations of the team, and I'm gonna stay with that. I'm going with Green Bay to win this game.
Calvin?
Gotcha. I'm going Green Bay. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I think they're a sneaky team to trade for a quarterback that's currently in the AFC North. I'm going Green Bay.
And I don't trust Jordan Love. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts travel to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs. It's a big one. Calvin, who you got?
Kansas City. I've not been high on Indianapolis all year long. Kansas City needs this win. They need this win. If they go 5-6, you're writing off the division, and the wild card becomes the only path to the playoffs. They need it. They know they need it. They got Kansas City.
Justin, who you got?
This is just blind faith at this point. But I'm still going with Kansas City. Patrick just got to not turn the ball over and they win this game. So we'll see what happens. Come on, Patrick, man. You got to play better.
Y'all know who I'm going with. I'm going with the Indianapolis
Jonathan
Colts.
Taylor.
I think Jonathan Taylor, after a bye,
well rested against Kansas City.
This Kansas City is completely different. And if they can't stop the run, which they haven't shown to me that they can, and they can't run the ball, they can't do nothing with the Colts. I'm sorry. I'm going with the Colts on the road. Next up. Now, the only reason why I put this on here is because the quarterback who's starting this game is Shedeur Sanders. Now, we saw what the Raiders look like Monday night against the Cowboys. Shedeur will have a week of practice. Hopefully, he looks a lot better than he did last Sunday. Now, Geno didn't light it up. They barely ran the ball. But I'm going with the Browns, man. On the road. I'm going with Cleveland. Let Shedeur cook. Let him cook. Calvin, who you got?
Las Vegas is one of the teams that passed up on Shedeur. He didn't forget that. This Cleveland Browns defense does travel and play well. I'm going with Cleveland. I don't think it's a surprise. I'm going with Cleveland.
Justin?
There's 2 in Cleveland. I like Shador. If he's going to get a win, it's going to be against the Raiders. Um, let's go Geno, baby. Let's go Geno, man.
This might be you might make up a game here, baby. All right, next up, Calvin's game of the week. Philadelphia Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts, travel to Dallas to take on Dak Prescott. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, and it's led by the Super Bowl MVP in Dallas. That defense is going to show, those 2 great receivers, George Pickens and CD Lamb and Jake Ferguson, that they ain't as good as they think they are. Stop reading your press clippings. And Jerry, calm it down a bit. Calm it down. I'm going with the Eagles. Calvin.
We remember what happened in game 1. This Cowboys offense put up numbers on this Philadelphia Eagles defense without Jalen Carter. This offense has only gotten better, in my opinion. The defense has gotten better for Dallas. Adding Quentin Williams, adding Logan Wilson. They will be better against the run, better against Saquon. I'm going with Philadelphia.
Justin.
Hey, man. Let's just hope that CD and George have another great time out and about, and and you could get into things with Dallas too, man. And they sit the first 2 plays of the game, and they go off from there. Upset special of the week. Let's go Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, man, you might make up some games here, baby. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're about to lose one here.
Travel to LA to take on the Rams. Let's start with you, Justin. Who you got?
I got the Rams, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I was playing it earlier, man. We got
You explained it.
Puka might have a 200-yard game, man. Go over on the Rams this week.
I respect that. Calvin?
I got the Rams. I think they're the best team. I think they're the best team in the NFC. So I'm going to go Rams.
I think Baker's going to put on his best performance in a while. These are the type of games, like he played against Seattle, like in Seattle. The game was in Seattle, and he played well. I think if he got 1 more 2 pieces back, like from healthy perspective, I think he could pull it off, but he just doesn't have it enough. I'm going to Rams as well, but I give Baker credit. He's been balling when in the
going cover.
Okay.
What's the spread?
I don't know. It just sounded like I knew what it was though.
That's funny. Okay. Carolina Panthers travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, led by Brock Purdy. I'm going with, this is on paper, this didn't look like it'd be an exciting game, but now, Carolina looked like Bryce Young played like he played like that last week. This is a big game for Carolina. They need this. I'm going with the 49ers, though, at home. I just think they've been playing very well. The connection between Brock Purdy and George Kittle has really been great. And quietly, Christian McCaffrey's been one of the most consistent players in the league all year. I'm going with the 49ers. Calvin?
This Carolina defense has been playing well. It may not look at it just about based on the number of points that they've given up. They played against some tough opponents. I'm going to go with San Fran just because of the offense and how they've been rolling. They got a healthy Brock Purdy. The receivers are rolling minus Brandon Ayuk. So I just think San Francisco's rolling. I took them for the under and their win total over the course of the year. So I'm probably wrong there, but I got San Francisco.
And Justin, who you got?
I am also going with San Francisco. I looked at the Panthers' remaining schedule. Besides the Saints, it is tough sledding. So yeah, I'm happy.
It all begins. All right. So other than that, we talked about the Bengals and the Patriots. No Jamar Chase. That's another matchup. Keep your eye on because if Joe Burrow does come back, that'll be interesting. Other than that, I think we covered about any big game. Broncos, Chargers, Dolphins, and the Washington Commanders are all on a bye this week. And that's about it.
You ain't looking forward to that Saints game? Your boy Kirk starting?
Let's move on. Congratulations, Calvin. You won your Super Bowl last week, beating me for the second time this year.
You swept me. I swept you this year. It wasn't close. It was an ass whooping.
You had a some of the points you put up were phenomenal.
How was miraculous?
He still was second overall in points that week, though.
Damn, yeah, Justin had 374. Congratulations, both of y'all.
Nothing to do with that.
Y'all were great. I really am happy for the week y'all had. I'm in first place. There I am sitting along, at the top of the league, second week in a row. After the loss, howbeit, because
that's because Justin beat
Mike and thank you, Justin. I truly appreciate it.
And Cobb beat Mike. Cobb beat Mike, I think.
And I still got the most points in the league, and I'm still in first place, and I clinched the playoff berth. So I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm trying to get to the playoffs, get my bye. You know what I mean? Calvin, get my money ready because I'm going for the goal. You got me? Anyway, let's get out of here. It's at 11:20. We appreciate you all sticking around with us late night. You know what I mean? We're going to try to get this thing back on the schedule. I probably have my churches in revival this week. Had to be there. But, I'm a man of the Lord first. The Lord got to come first in my life. And then everything else came after that. But I appreciate you fellas being adaptable. Calvin tried to get this thing started at 9, but things happen. Y'all saw he had some internet trouble. But he did a lot to get on here tonight. So, Calvin, thank you for your effort. You know what I mean? I'm sure you shut the whole house down. Their whole internet went down. They were like, what's going on? I know little Kobe probably was up like, my device is not working. He should have been
asleep. He got school tomorrow.
But anyway, any final thoughts before we get out of here? Calvin?
No.
Justin?
No. Watch out for the elementary school kids, man. They thorough. These YNs are younger and younger.
I'm telling you, man. These niggas, they are raised completely different. You know what I mean? These some new people. You know what I mean? We weren't like that. We were not like that. Anyway, we'll see y'all next week with a full show. We'll talk some NBA. We'll talk all that. LeBron came back, year 23. We'll talk all that stuff. See how he do it. Give him a week. Give him a week under his belt. You know what I mean? He might tear his Achilles, son. You never know. And we'll be back right here for another edition. No, I'm not wishing on him. I said give him a week. Give him a week. See you next week.
Tear his Achilles.